This is the lecture for David Estlund's article, Utopophobia. So the first topic is normative and the related label descriptive. So throughout the article, the first time on page 114 in a footnote, when he talks about normative political theory, and then the next on page 115 when he talks about normative theory, he uses this word normative, and so we want to know what that means. And so normative uh, stuff is as contrasted with merely descriptive stuff. So normative stuff is stuff about what's good and bad, right and wrong, better and worse, uh, preferable and not preferable, what things ought to happen, what things ought not to happen. And so normative stuff sort of judges the world. It says things are good or bad according to some criteria, or right or wrong according to some criteria, or better or worse according to some criteria. So one common normative kind of judgment is moral judgment. So if you say something is morally right or morally wrong, ethically right, ethically wrong, that's a normative judgment. Somebody is morally better or worse. Those are normative judgments. A synonym for normative is evaluative, because these are sort of evaluating things. So evaluative judgments, judging according to some sort of standard. So those are normative judgments or normative descriptions or whatever. And we contrast normative stuff with merely descriptive stuff. So descriptive stuff is not about good and bad or right or wrong. It's about other, any other quality. So it's about what color things are, what shape things are, or really anything. Like any sort of description of the world that doesn't have to do with normativity is descriptive. A synonym for descriptive that we sometimes use is positive. So if we say like a positive investigation, that's merely a descriptive investigation. So descriptive stuff does not judge the world. It doesn't use various standards or things. Normative stuff does judge the world. So if I say that a potato weighs half a kilogram, that is a descriptive fact. If I say it's fantastic that this potato weighs half a kilogram, that's a normative fact. So that's normative and descriptive, or normative and positive, or evaluative and descriptive, or evaluative and positive, stuff like that. The normativity that Estlund is interested here is normative political theory, so or normative theory. And what is that contrasted with? Well, descriptive political theory, which we usually call political science. So most of political science is descriptive, but there is a section of political science called political theory, which is mostly normative. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's mostly normative. But in any case, he's interested in normative political theory as opposed to descriptive stuff. That's mostly what he's talking about in this article. And then second, just a really tiny point, but it might be confusing. On page 126 and 7, and maybe elsewhere, this thing shows up. He says, oughts on a group to do symbol. Do not directly distribute over oughts on members to do symbol when the group. This symbol is the Greek letter phi. Some people say phi. So just to do phi means to do something. Like this is just a variable. It doesn't mean anything except like you can replace it with x or whatever. So it's just a stand-in.